Hey guys, welcome back to Kendi Beauty. So today we're going to be taking a look at the new Pat McGrath Divine Blush and Glow Cheek Palette. This is in Nude Venus. I am going to be picking up the other one as well to compare, but I was able to get this a little bit early because I'm a Sephora VIB Rouge and they had it like on early access or something. I now think it's available for everybody at Sephora. And then also the Celestial Nirvana palette for $82 also available. So I'm thinking about picking that up, but I don't know if I'm going to get the collection as a whole when Pat releases that. I'm thinking she's going to release the whole collection. She usually does. So anyway, if you guys are new here, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, tap the bell so you can be notified of all of the new upcoming videos because we've got a lot of holiday makeup releases coming up. We've got a lot of makeup in general. And I know a lot of you guys are big Pat McGrath fans. I kind of went light on last year's holiday collection just because, you know, prices keep going up and I wasn't like the hugest fan of some of the things. This year's collection does look more enticing to me. However, I just don't know, you know, it's a big investment. I personally love her Mothership palettes more because I love the astral shades. So we'll see. And then rumor has it, I guess there's going to be maybe something else coming our way. I don't know if that's going to be before the holiday or after the holidays, but we will see. You know that Mother Pat always has, you know, lots of little tricks up her sleeve and surprises, you know, coming soon. So anyway, I just wanted to take a look at this palette, show you guys some swatches, do a few looks, and just kind of, you know, compare it, take a look at, there's only 2 new shades with this palette. You cannot get the Nude Venus on Pat McGrath's site for whatever reason. I'm not sure, but you can get her sister palette, the Divine Rose. So I will be getting the Divine Rose once it becomes available at Sephora. I just have had really hit or miss experiences sometimes, especially with bigger launches with Pat's shipping. It's not always like spot on, but I know like at Sephora, if I pay for the expedited shipping, I'll get it, you know, at least within a few days. So that's probably what I'll do as long as the Divine Rose, the sister palette, becomes available at Sephora. It's just kind of crazy because I feel like she's like keeping us on our toes. Like some things are available here, some things are available there, and then also, you know, everything isn't available at once. It's like she's like doing, last year I think she did some stuff up front, but then all of it was available, and now it's like this year it's like 3 or 4 stages of what's coming out when. So she just likes to keep us on our toes and keep us guessing, doesn't she? But anyway, I have always been a diehard Pat fan for a while, and then lately I haven't been as excited like the last year or so with some of the releases, so I kind of took a step back. But I know you guys are really into the brand, so I figured I would show you some of her holiday stuff ahead of time this year. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into the details of this palette. Okay, and the details on the palette: 4 petal soft blushes, demi matte and satin pearl finishes, build 'em a mistake-proof application. Vivid color, purity, hybrid powder, highlighter, smooth, high-intensity finish. It's made in Italy and it's 20 grams, 0.70 ounces. It does retail for $62. Okay, so I did want to go in without any foundation and powder or anything. I do have some lashes on, liner and mascara, and a lippy, but that's about it. So I'm gonna just go in on my bare face, and first I'm gonna go in with this. Actually, you know what? First we're gonna do the new shade. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is the only new shade in this palette. It's called Divine Rose 3. The rest of these shades you can get in individual, and then actually this is a new shade as well, the highlighter, which is in Sunset Nectar. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here first with my Rephr number 4 brush. This is Divine Rose 3, and I just want to, oh wow, she is pigmented. I was a little bit afraid that it would veer more like rosy, but this is definitely a beautiful, beautiful pink. Okay, and then underneath of that, I'm going to go in with this shade called Paradise Venus. Sort of use that as a contour shade. Whew. That is pigmented as well. Pat does not mess around with the pigment on these blushes, you guys. Which I don't mind having a lot of pigment, but I do kind of prefer to build up the pigment when it comes to blush, because as you can see, like sometimes it'll get a little patchy if you have hair on your face or just anything sort of that's not smooth. But I mean, looking at it from this side, it's definitely giving like a more chiseled effect. I do enjoy a deeper blush in a palette though, because I do like to layer them and sort of use the deeper shade underneath as sort of more of a chiseled contour look, and then the lighter shade over top. So now I'm going to go in with my Rougher 16, which is technically an eye brush, but I use it for highlight because I have small eyes, and I'm just dipping into the highlight shade, which again is called Sunset Nectar. And oh, this is kind of reminding me of like the individual, yeah, it's definitely a smooth sort of baked gelée formula. Wow. Sometimes her highlighters are a little bit too deep for me, but this is really, really beautiful. I'm not like noticing any sort of coarseness. It's extremely smooth, very, very finely milled, and just absolutely like blinding and beautiful. Oh my goodness. That is so pretty. Okay, so I have my foundation and powder on, and now I'm just gonna go in with Divine Rose 3. I do want to sort of concentrate it, and I want to compare these two shades, the Nude Venus and the Divine Rose 3, because before without foundation, when I applied it, the shades look pretty similar, I thought. So I just want to sort of take another look and really get it like very concentrated in one spot, and now I'm just gonna blend it out. So you can sort of shear out the formula. It doesn't have to be too opaque if you go in with a light hand, or if you sort of just, you know, blend it out like I'm doing right now. Okay, so now on this side I'm going in with Nude Venus. Again, I just want to compare the two shades. Okay, so Nude Venus does have more of a pinky. It's more pinky, whereas Divine Rose is more sort of, it's also pink, but it's more of a rose pink or a deeper pink, and this is more of like a bubblegum pink, at least on my skin. And I feel like it's a little bit more glowy. It's got a little bit more satiny sheen to it. I got a little carried away on this side with this shade. So this is the Nude Venus, and this is the Divine Rose 3. Let me just go in with some more Divine Rose 3. Yeah, so it's definitely deeper, I feel like. They're very, very similar in color, though, which kind of is like, maybe she should have not done Nude Venus in the Divine Rose 3 palette together, you know what I mean? Like, or put Divine Rose 3 in the other palette. I like both shades. I like how they are very like a true pink. Whereas before, the trios that she came out with last year, I felt like were more sort of bronzy. They didn't show as pink on me. I wasn't a fan of the trios that she came out with last year. I'm definitely liking, you know, these more. So yeah, the Nude Venus is just like a little bit more brighter, glowier, and then the Divine Rose 3 is more of a pure matte, and it's definitely like a deeper sort of cherry pink color, whereas this is more of like a bubblegum pink color. Again, guys, keeping in mind that everybody's skin tone is different, so you know, these shades may look this way on me, but they could look completely different on somebody else. I don't like all of the pickup that's going on. Like, it kind of makes it impossible to work and not get each shade like mixed with each other. I'm not liking that it's got these shades for a blush palette have this much fallout and just like are all over the place. Okay, so I'm just going in on each side with the Sunset Nectar highlight shade. And I do really feel like her highlighter formula has come a long way since she first started doing the big, you know, collectible ones. I didn't like the first couple she had come out with. I forget which collections they were, but I definitely have been liking the last couple with the Bridgerton and the holiday collection. So I feel like her formula has definitely taken a step up. Yeah, I love this on the Nude Venus. And then with, you know, it's just more of like a rosier sort of reddish vibe with the Divine Rose 3. And then the Nude Venus is more of like a champagne-y sort of true pink or bubblegum pink. You can see a little bit of texture even though I do have my foundation on, which usually highlighters on me don't really show that much texture, so that's something to keep in mind. This side though, it's not really showing, so it could just be my face right now. I'm not sure. Like, this side is seamless. Ooh, poking myself in the eye. This side is absolutely seamless, and this side you can definitely see. Also, this is a deeper shade, so that could be it too. I'm just gonna go over and with some Hourglass soft focus setting spray to see if that makes a difference, because sometimes that'll just sort of like even out, you know, the texture showing through. Okay, so we are back for our final thoughts on this palette. Do I think that this is, you know, I think that this would work. Like, if you don't have her single Divine blushes, if you liked the trios last year, I definitely think that this is a step up from the trios. I love the highlight shade that she included in this versus the trios last year. I wasn't as big of a fan of the shades or the highlight, so I do feel like this highlight is definitely the star of the show. I was hoping that the Divine Rose 3 would be like the star of the show for me. That's why I picked this up, but I wasn't that impressed with the shade actually. I actually enjoyed the way that the top two shades blended and looked on my skin. Do I think this is a lot? $62? Yeah, I mean, I feel like she could have done better packaging. You get the cardboard, but it is magnetic clasp. It is magnetized there, but I just feel like she could have done more with the packaging for $62. I just wanted like something a little bit more. And if you have these shades already, like, this is beating a dead horse. You definitely don't need this palette. I think there's other holiday palettes that might be a better investment as far as spending that kind of money. However, I do feel like, Pat McGrath blushes, they show up, they are there, they are pigmented, they are, not late to the show. So I do feel like the pigment on these is beautiful. I mean, and if you enjoy Pat McGrath altogether, then you probably do want to pick up this palette. For me, don't feel like it's a must-have, but I do think overall the formula was beautiful. I was a little bit surprised on the texture with the highlighter, but I don't notice it on this side, so that could just be on my face. I do think it's a beautiful palette. I don't feel like it's something you have to have, especially if you have her blushes. You don't need this. There's only two nude shades including the highlighter, and I just don't feel like the blush shade is anything like that spectacular with the Divine Rose 3. The highlighter is beautiful, but she may bring this in another palette, you know what I mean, to come, so who knows. But I do want to know you guys' thoughts as far as like the holiday collection, because I believe the palette and this is available at Sephora right now. I know you can get the palette along with the mascaras and some other items on her site, but as far as like the collection as a whole, I am curious to see how much it's going to cost, and then also I might be picking it up, but I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. Like, if you're into her holiday, the Nirvana collection this year, if you would like to see a full review, let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, I might just pick up bits and pieces like I have been and sort of show you like the things that I've been interested in. I do want to pick up the other Divine Blush and Glow Cheek Palette, the other shade, the Divine Rose shade. I do want to pick that one up as well because I feel like those are more vibrant. They look a little bit brighter, but again, you don't know with her blushes until you get them in person. I feel like they're very deceiving, her blush palettes. Like when I got the trios last year, I was completely surprised when I actually got them in hand. I was like, this looks nothing like they did online. So I feel like with her blush palettes, you just never know what you're going to get until you actually see them in person. But I am super interested in the single, like the big blush and highlighter as well. So let me know what you guys would like to see, because that will be helpful, and what you're interested in or what maybe you've already picked up. I definitely need your input down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.